Have you ever paused to wonder why a particular person keeps resurfacing in your thoughts, again and again, no matter how hard you try to let go? It's as if they've quietly made a home in your heart without your permission. You wake up, and their name flashes through your mind. You raise your hands in dua, and somehow they slip into your prayers too. Even during your quietest, most peaceful moments, their presence lingers. It can leave you feeling puzzled. Is this love, a divine sign? Or perhaps something deeper, something spiritual that even you haven't fully understood yet? In Islam, the heart isn't just the center of emotions. It's a sacred space, deeply connected to your spiritual self. So when someone refuses to leave your thoughts, it may be more than just longing or memory. What if Allah is speaking to you through this inner experience? What if the message isn't just about the person, but about your own soul's journey back to Him? Let's take a moment to step back and gently explore. What might it truly mean when someone lives in your thoughts constantly? Sometimes, no matter how much effort you put into moving on, a particular individual keeps appearing in your mind. It could be someone from your past, a memory you never fully understood, or someone you care about deeply, or maybe even someone you barely know, yet feel an intense and mysterious connection to. These thoughts aren't always welcomed. They can come while you're standing in prayer, busy at work, or lying awake in the silence of the night. And it can feel exhausting, confusing even. We often assume this must be emotional, that we're simply yearning or missing or holding on. But the heart and mind aren't as random as we think. In Islam, the heart is seen as a center of spiritual perception. If someone remains in your thoughts, there may be an underlying message, a lesson not yet learned, or a truth you've been avoiding. It might not be about being with that person. It could be about your need for healing, understanding, or closure. So, what happens when what feels like love is actually a spiritual call for introspection? We must learn to distinguish between emotional pull and divine purpose. When someone occupies your thoughts constantly, it's tempting to think, this must mean something. I must be meant to be with them. But Islam teaches us to be cautious with our emotions, not to dismiss them, but to recognize that not every feeling is meant to be acted upon. Sometimes, Allah allows someone into your heart, not to stay, but to reflect. What feels like love could actually be a spiritual mirror. That person may awaken parts of you you've ignored, your fears, insecurities, unfulfilled needs, or deeper spiritual thirst. The connection you feel might be less about them and more about in His timing. The very confusion you feel might be part of a greater plan, one not to unite you with someone else, but to unite you more deeply with Him. In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 216, Allah reminds us, "But perhaps you hate a thing, and it is good for you. And perhaps you love a thing, and it is bad for you. And Allah knows, while you know not." This verse is a powerful anchor for the heart. It reminds us that our emotions, though intense and real, aren't always a reliable guide to what is truly best for us. You might be completely convinced someone is meant for you. You may feel your heart pulling you toward them with conviction, but Allah sees what we cannot. He sees the outcome, the path, the unseen struggles that lie ahead. What we label as love might actually lead to pain, and what feels like a painful rejection could be Allah shielding us from harm. This verse teaches surrender, a surrender rooted in trust. Trust that Allah's knowledge far exceeds our understanding. So if your heart is attached, take this verse to heart. It will humble you. It will remind you, What feels right isn't always spiritually right. So what can you do when your heart feels overwhelmed by thoughts of someone? One of the most healing and powerful things you can do is to turn to Allah in sincerity. No one understands the depth and complexity of your emotions more than the one who created them. You may not fully understand whether your attachment is a gift, a distraction, or a test, but Allah knows. Instead of exhausting yourself through overthinking or replaying moments in your head, pour your heart out in dua. Say, Ya Allah, if this person is good for my faith, my life, and my future, then bring them nearer to me. But if they are not, then distance them from me and remove this attachment from my heart. This dua isn't weakness, it's spiritual maturity. It's an act of courage. It shows that you're entrusting Allah with your heart, even when your emotions feel overpowering. Through sincere dua, your confusion can begin to melt into calm, and your uncertainty can transform into tawakkul, complete reliance on Him. One of the quietest trials of the heart is when love for a person starts to replace love for Allah. It can happen so subtly. You begin by caring, by thinking, by hoping. But over time, this person becomes the center of your emotional world, and unknowingly, the space meant for Allah becomes occupied by someone else. But in Islam, we are taught that the heart was made to find its true rest in Allah alone. No person, no matter how wonderful, can fulfill your deepest needs for security, love, and understanding the way Allah. Anchor in Allah. The less likely it is to break over what's temporary. There are times when your heart feels full, but you keep it all inside. You don't speak of the person you're constantly thinking about. Maybe you're afraid of being judged. Maybe you don't understand it yourself. But know this: Allah already knows. He is Al-Alim, the all-knowing, and Al-Latif, the subtle. Even the thoughts and feelings you cannot express, He knows. In Surah Qaf, verse 16, Allah says, "And we have already created man, and know what his soul whispers to him." This is one of the most comforting reminders in the Qur'an. Your silent struggles, your hidden attachments, your whispered prayers, all of them are known to Allah. Even when no one else understands what's going on inside you, He does. That means you are never truly alone in your emotional trials. Trusting Allah with your silent thoughts is an act of deep faith. It's saying, I don't know what this means, but you do. And that trust will lead you to answers, healing, and inner peace in ways you never expected. So, if someone stays in your thoughts, take a moment to look inward. Maybe it's a sign, not of romance, but of awakening. A call to seek Allah more deeply, to uncover something hidden within you, to grow in trust, to heal in love, and to rise in faith. Keep turning to Allah. Let your dua be sincere and your faith strong. Trust that the one who placed this person in your heart knows exactly what to do with that feeling and how to guide you toward what is best. Thank you for watching Deen Talks.
If this message brought you even a moment of peace or clarity, please like, share, and subscribe to support our growing community.
And before you leave, join me in a prayer. Ya Allah, guide my heart to what is best for me and fill me with your peace.
Type this dua in the comments below. Let's fill this space with reminders of His mercy together.